Good morning. Please be seated. Thank you very much. My name is David. I'm the CEO of the Alliance for Rural Electrification. A big warm welcome to the Energy Access Investment Forum 2026. We will have now the opening remarks and would like to directly invite onto stage Madam Ambassador of the European Union to the Republic of Kenya. Madam Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy that you came in great numbers through the rain this morning in Nairobi. And I hope this is making your day and you feel that you will learn a lot today and that it's worth your while. The best at these conferences is always to get to know each other and to exchange with each other. So I really hope that you all have a very, very fruitful day today. So let me welcome all of you. I'm the European ambassador here in Kenya and also the permanent representative to the United Nations here in Nairobi. And I would like to especially welcome the representative of CS Energy, Honorable Alan Machari, and also Mr. David Lecoque, the CEO of the Alliance for Rural Electrification, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you to this inaugural session of the Kenya Energy Access Investment Forum on behalf of the European Union. I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to the Alliance for Rural Electrification for organizing this event and to the government of Kenya for its generous hospitality and leadership in hosting this forum. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished partners from the private sector, development and governmental institutions who have gathered here today to advance our common goals in energy access and sustainable development. As we gather today, we come at a crucial moment for global and Africa's energy future. The continent faces significant challenges and unprecedented opportunities as well on its journey towards universal energy access and a just energy transition. And we all see what is happening in the world, and energy and the access to energy has become a very hot topic globally. This forum today represents a unique platform for high-level dialogue and concrete action, and it brings together key stakeholders to mobilize investment, share best practices, and forge partnerships that will drive Africa's energy transformation forward. Now, the European Union is remaining steadfast in its commitment to supporting Africa's energy ambitions. Through our Global Gateway strategy, we are mobilizing over 300 billion euros to boost smart, clean, and secure connections in digital energy and transport sectors across the world. Under the Africa-Europe Green Energy Initiative, we are supporting 185 projects across the entire continent, with a total pledge of over 7 billion euro, which is more than 4 trillion Kenyan shillings. From Team Europe. Team Europe means the EU plus its member states. These investments demonstrate our shared commitment to accelerate Africa's energy transition and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in that area. For example, Europe has been at the forefront of wind energy development, financing, and equipment provision in Kenya and across the African continent. European institutions, developers, and technology manufacturers have played a leading role in many of Africa's largest wind projects, including here in Kenya. The 310 megawatt Lake Turkana wind power project in Kenya is one of Africa's largest and was heavily driven by European investment and technology. And this is just the beginning. The Lake Turkana wind farm stands as a testament to what can be achieved through strong public-private partnerships and international cooperation. While this forum has a continental focus, we recognize Kenya's exemplary leadership in renewable energy development. You all know the numbers. Kenya is very well advanced by over 90% of its energy sources from renewables. And we support Kenya to achieve 100, hopefully very soon. Kenya's success in renewable energy development offers valuable lessons for all of African nations. The country's planned doubling of renewable energy capacity by 2030 serves as an inspiration for the continent's renewable energy ambitions. But of course, what is key also is to look at the quantities. And at the example of Kenya, we see that if you want to drive technology, including AI, and you want to drive industrialization, it's not only enough to drive renewables and sustainable, you also have to look at the quantity of what is technologies with devastating consequences for health, forests, and the climate. I think access to energy is a human right. I think we have to see it as that. And we have to fight for that as a human right. And if we are talking about lack of connectivity, we are talking about a very fundamental lack of development. Even here in Kenya, if you're in Nairobi, you cannot imagine that there are still counties that are not connected to the electricity grid of this country. Not connected. A whole county. So what that means for people, we have seen when there is a connection to a village somewhere in rural Africa, let's say Kenya. The one light bulb that lit is bringing a new life to the entire community. And that's going far beyond only electricity. It means health, it means education, it means development. So we must focus on solutions that are scalable, investable, very important, and capable of delivering impact at speed. With this in mind, we have organized specific sessions throughout this forum to address the different specific critical areas. First, we will discuss solutions to accelerate access to clean cooking in Kenya and East Africa. The session will bring together companies and financiers to identify and discuss viable and replicable investment structures for the clean cooking sector. Second, we will explore innovative financing mechanisms to scale up wind projects across the continent. Third, we will examine the regulatory framework needed to attract private investment in Kenya and Africa's energy sector. Finally, we will discuss projects and opportunities on investing in skills to power green transition in Africa in the framework of Team Europe Initiative Opportunity-Driven Skills and VET in Africa. This is one of our flagships under the Global Gateway investment package. You will hear more about this later. The EU's Global Gateway is not only about infrastructure and investment, it's also about people. It's about ensuring that renewable energy expansion goes hand in hand with skills development, decent work, and inclusive growth. By directly linking training systems with companies, embedding private sector engagement, and prioritizing also gender equality to ensure that energy transition becomes an opportunity-driven transformation. The challenges before us are significant, but as I said before, so are the opportunities. The European Union stands ready to support energy transition through strategic investments in renewable energy infrastructure, technical assistance to strengthen regulatory frameworks, capacity building to develop local expertise, and finally, policy dialogue to create the enabling environment for investments. We believe that through partnerships and collaboration, we can overcome the barriers to universal energy access and build a sustainable energy future. In conclusion, I would like to express my confidence that this forum will yield and accelerate meaningful progress towards this shared goal. And I encourage all participants to engage actively in the discussions. Bring in your unique perspective, please. Forge new partnerships and help us explore innovative solutions to Africa, but also to the global energy challenges we are all facing. On behalf of the European Union, I wish you a productive day, productive deliberations, and above all, a successful outcome from this important gathering, because you're all investing your time, and let it be worthwhile. Thank you for your attention, and I look very much forward to see the fruits of our collective action to power our sustainable future. Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this inspiring speech, Madam Ambassador. I would like to pass the floor to the representative of the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Energy, Mr. Alan Machari, Secretary of Administration. Mr. Machari, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Hamjambo. Thank you very much. I have already been introduced, but I can just introduce myself again. My name is Alan Machari, Secretary Administration in the State Department for Energy, and I am here to present remarks by the Cabinet Secretary for Energy, Honorable Opiyo Wandayi, who is outside the country on official duties. He had really wished to take part in this forum, but he had other engagements that made him travel outside the country. So I wish to register his apologies. At this juncture, allow me to give his remarks. Her Excellency, Director Geiger, Ambassador of the Delegation of European Union in Kenya, Ms. Maud Watalet, President, Alliance of Rural Electrification, Dr. Juma Mukwawa, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Industrialization, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to join you at this Energy Access Investment Forum 2026, a premier global platform that continues to catalyze partnerships and mobilize investment for energy access. Energy access, renewable electrification, and green energy transition. This year's forum in Nairobi, organized by the Alliance for Rural Electrification and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, convenes over 1,000 global participants, including investors, industry players, and policymakers, highlighting moments in sustainable energy. Kenya stands at a national energy policy. Energy is not merely a sector, it is a strategic enabler of economic transformation, industrial growth, and social inclusion. Our priorities are clear: universal access to modern energy while ensuring affordability, competitiveness, sustainability, and climate resilience. We have made we've made strong progress. Today, approximately 75% of Kenyans have access to electricity from both grid and off-grid solutions, with the remaining population largely on rural and hard-to-reach areas. To close the access gap, Kenya is pursuing a dual approach that combines accelerated grid expansion and scaling of decentralization solutions, such as mini-grids and standalone solar systems. Our energy access journey has been bolstered by the bold investments the government has made under the Last Mile Connectivity Program to the tune of Kenya shillings 15 billion USD, or 1.25 billion Kenya shillings. In the last 10 years, to connect over 6 million households, bringing the total connection to 10.2 million. We currently have ongoing programs supported by our development partners, World Bank, AFD, European Union, EIB, Geiger, and AFDB, to the tune of Kenya shillings 75 billion, targeting to connect additional 805,000 households by the end of this year. Through the government of Kenya, deliberate interventions in off-grid areas, significant progress has been made in expanding access to electricity. To date, the government has developed 20 diesel-powered stations and 30 solar-powered hybrid mini-grids to serve remote and underserved communities. In addition, a further 7 solar-powered hybrid mini-grids have been implemented with support from the World Bank under the Kenya Electricity Modernization Project. Collectively, These 57 mini-grids have provided reliable electricity to over 30,000 households and businesses, transforming livelihoods, supporting local enterprises, and advancing inclusive socio-economic development in the off-grid region. Through COSAP, 114 solar-powered mini-grids are under construction by Kenya KPLC and REREC to provide electricity to households in proximity to one another in the underserved counties. Simultaneously, we are advancing towards full transition to clean cooking by 2030 to promote healthier and more sustainable livelihoods. Kenya is a renewable energy leader with about 93% of its dispatched electricity coming from clean sources such as geothermal, wind, hydro, and solar, and is now focused on scaling up generation, investing in energy storage and grid modernization, and exploring emerging opportunities, including green hydrogen and e-mobility. A just energy transition remains central to Kenya's approach, ensuring that efforts to decarbonize the energy sector also deliver tangible socio-economic benefits. This includes creating jobs, protecting livelihoods, and promoting inclusive and equitable growth so that no one is left behind in the transition. Recognizing that this transformation cannot be achieved by government alone, Kenya has strengthened its policy and regulatory frameworks to attract private sector investment, promote public-private partnerships, and enhance transparency and predictability. Ongoing reforms, including market restructuring and improved procurement frameworks, are unlocking new opportunities across the entire energy value chain. We recently published our National Energy Compact, which succinctly articulates government objectives and development commitments anchored on achieving universal access, accelerating clean energy adoption, and enhancing system resilience. Kenya recognizes the importance of regional integration and is strengthening energy sector and enabling cross-border power trade through participation in regional power pools and interconnections, thereby contributing to more resilient and interconnected energy systems across Africa. The key message from this forum is that Africa has immense potential to lead the global energy transformation. But realizing this opportunity will require scaled-up investment, innovative financing solutions, and strong and sustainable partnerships. Kenya stands ready to collaborate with governments, investors, development partners to unlock this potential and build an inclusive, sustainable, and transformative energy future that powers economies and improves livelihoods. Thank you very much and wish you a fruitful discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Machari, for these inspiring opening remarks. On behalf of the Cabinet Secretary, we very much appreciate you taking the time, like Madam Ambassador, to be here with us this morning. That concludes the opening remarks and the formal opening of the event, and then we can go to a small announcement that I've introduced that I would like to present to you. So here goes. Excellencies, distinguished guests, members, partners and friends, Karibu, bienvenue and welcome also from my side. Let me begin, of course, by acknowledging our co-hosts, the European Union through the Global Gateway Initiative, our patron, the Ministry of Energy and the Government of Kenya, and our long-standing supporter, the GET.invest program, for their partnership in bringing this event together. I would also like to thank our strategic partners, including COMESA Ascent, the UNDP, AMP, of course the World Bank Group, Clean India, NDEF and Engage, GEP, PFAN and REAP, SNV, the Global Gateway TEI Opvet initiative, as well as the UK's T and TLP programs, whose continued engagement helps shape and strengthen this sector. Finally, also our sincere appreciation to our sponsors, including Schneider Electric, AFDB CEFA, COMAP, ENGIE, InfraCredit, Victron, EDA, Camco, ENOS, Powerblocks, Okra, Sagemcom, Signify, Vinke, Hydrobox, and Gaia Impact for their support and commitment, and without whom events like this are simply not possible. We are deeply grateful for your leadership and collaboration. So it is a pleasure, as I mentioned, to welcome you to the 2026 Energy Access Investment Forum here in Kenya. It's actually, as you may have spotted from a pretty crowded room, I don't see many empty chairs, the largest as well as the most integrated forum that we have organized to date. We have an astounding 826 registered participants on site and another 500 plus online from over 70 countries. Among you are a record 159 investors and more than 260 developers. And for the first time, also more than 20 energy buyers. So it means that this year's program reflects a new level of scale and ambition. Over the next 3 days, you will find 5 parallel tracks. These are the main stage, this platform featuring sessions on, of course, all things energy access investment, as well as, for the first time, on grid-based electrification and a strong focus on commercial and industrial demand. There are also the numerous partner-led events and workshops ranging from mini-grid tracks to e-cooking to national compact sessions. Just outside, you will see a vibrant exhibition space with about 30 stakeholders showcasing solutions and projects, alongside a range of complementary activities. The classic B2B matchmaking, we have youth engagements with Jekua University, we have curated receptions, we celebrate local art as well at different places in the conference, and we will have site visits to actual projects in the field later this week. For us as ARE, what is particularly encouraging is the breadth of this platform, what it has become, especially in this edition, spanning off-grid systems, mini-grids, clean cooking, e-mobility, commercial and industrial solutions, and grid-based solutions. So we are especially pleased to see a lot of the partners anchoring their own engagements and their own events as part of the EAIF platform. So it is therefore not only the largest edition we have hosted, also it is the most collaborative. For us, and for me personally, it also reflects clearly the direction in which ARE wants to continue scaling, more integrated, more coordinated, and more aligned with how this sector operates in practice and needs to move forward. It is precisely this level of integration and scale that we need, because the energy challenges we face today demand, as we know, coordinated action across governments, business, finance, and communities. For we meet at a moment of profound contradiction. The world is under pressure, climate shocks are intensifying, recent weeks have again demonstrated fossil fuel volatility that destabilizes economies, conflicts are spreading, geopolitical uncertainty, that all means development finance is, bottoming out, public budgets keep being more and more constrained, and traditional support models for the energy access sector at least are evolving, to put it diplomatically. And yet, demand for energy and energy access has never been greater. Across Africa, but also Asia, Pacific, and Latin America and the Caribbean, people are not asking kindly for incremental progress. They are demanding reliable power now for homes, for their business, for their industry, for their jobs. it is normal that they want to go out of darkness, away from unreliable power, and into dignity and opportunity. So this is no longer just about access. It is about sustainable economic development at scale. And so this is where we stand today, at an inflection point. Electrification is expanding from rural access to entire economies. We see that the economics have shifted. Renewable solutions are now cheaper and more reliable than fossil fuels in nearly every circumstance, and therefore become the rational choice for all the users. Also, the politics have changed. It is not just about climate, environment, polar bears. It is now also, and even more so, about competitiveness, about economic security, and about sovereignty and charting your own course. Importantly, this transition into a renewable-powered future for all can move fast. We know and we have seen that it can be deployed rapidly if finance is scaled and mobilized, if permitting is efficient, if barriers are removed, and if the stakeholders across the sector work together. It is alignment. It is no longer technology. It is alignment between policy and investment, demand and supply, off-grid, mini-grid, on-grid, public ambition, and private execution that we must focus on. So let me be clear. Rural electrification and productive use are essential. It remains well unfinished, and it remains at the heart of what ARE has been doing since 2006 and will continue doing. However, to sustain and scale it, especially in the context of tighter funding that we experience, we must expand to new markets, into CNI, into commercial industrial demand, into grid integration, and into expansion of the grid. Not as a shift away, but as the foundation for scaling what works. So for us as ARE, it's almost emotional, because what began as a rural electrification effort has now become a system transformation effort. Our identity, therefore, must reflect that reality. So as we enter this new chapter, together with our board and all our members, we asked ourselves, who do we need to be? Who does ARE, together with its members, need to be for the future that we are building? Because the future of energy in emerging markets will not be built in fragments, it will be built as a system. So, provided the video works, let me show you what that looks like.
For over 2 decades, the Alliance for Rural Electrification has helped power renewable energy access across emerging markets. Today, energy systems are evolving. Electrification is expanding from energy access to industry and integrated power systems. Markets are growing, and so are we. As we mark our 20th anniversary, we enter a new chapter. We continue to serve our members, now with a broader mission. We federate and support the renewable energy industry and its partners to foster private sector renewable electrification, expanding from our foundation in rural electrification, energy access, and productive use to powering commercial and industrial off-takers, as well as integrated grids and utility projects. We continue to unite the private sector and energy stakeholders, build partnerships with energy users, strengthen markets, and deliver scalable, business-driven solutions across Africa, Asia-Pacific, Latin America, and the Caribbean. We are now the Alliance for Renewable Electrification, powering the renewable energy transition where it matters most.
Ta-da! Thank you. Thank you very much. As is clear now, we are henceforth, after 20 years, the Alliance for Renewable Electrification, still ARE, but it is more than a name change. It reflects the broader mission. It reflects the acceleration of renewable electrification across the energy landscape, from energy access and productive use to CNI, to integrated grids and utility projects. From communities to economies, ARE continues to position itself as the connector and the bridge builder between the governments and industry, between development partners and the private sector, between energy buyers and suppliers, and between ambition and execution. So let me close with a call to action. If you build, you invest in, you provide technology for renewable infrastructure in emerging markets, especially in our new pillars, we want to work with you. We have made a very special, unique promotion. That means that there is ample opportunity to sign up as a member with us today. If you are an energy user, a buyer, seeking reliable, cost-competitive power, join us under our new affiliate program. Talk to us about what that means. And to development partners in the room, if you are shaping policy, finance, and programs, work with us, of course, and continue to do so as a partner, because together we design initiatives that are impact-driven and viable, because we know what works. The task now is to scale it. So in conclusion, renewable electrification is not some distant ambition. It is here. It is happening, it is competitive, and it is accelerating. So the question now is whether we move fast enough and together. At ARE, in the new sense, we are ready. Thank you. And I would like to move to the panel one now, inviting our dear President, Mrs. Maud Wathelet. Thank you very much. Over to you, Maud, and thank you for everything.